The year is 2085. Earth is a distant memory. Humanity had reached for the stars, building colonies throughout the solar system. But then, silence. All communication with Earth and the colonies ceased. No distress calls, no explanations, just silence. The network that once connected humanity was severed, leaving only fragments of a once thriving civilization. Dr. Aria Kael floated in her space station, Kepler station. The silence was deafening, broken only by the hum of the station's life support systems. She had grown accustomed to the solitude, but it weighed heavily on her mind. It orbited a dying planet on the edge of explored space. She was alone. Her supplies were dwindling, oxygen was running low, the barren landscape below offered no solace, only a reminder of her isolation. The last of her crew had left months ago, taking their chances on a risky journey to find other survivors. They had hoped to return with help, but Aria knew the odds were slim. Aria had chosen to stay, clinging to hope. She believed that someone, somewhere, would hear her distress signals. The stars outside the window were her only companions. She continued to scan for any sign of life, any signal that would break the deafening silence. Each day, she meticulously checked the communication devices, hoping for a miracle. Every day, that hope dwindled. The weight of her situation pressed down on her, but she refused to give up. Aria knew that as long as she was alive, there was still a chance. Then one day, a flicker, a blip on her long-dormant instruments. It was faint, almost imperceptible, but it was there, a signal. Her heart pounded in her chest as she rerouted the signal, enhancing it. It wasn't human. It was a complex series of pulses and pauses, unlike anything she had encountered before. This was no distress call. This was something different, something deliberate. Section 4. The Architect's Message. Aria spent days trying to decipher the signal. She worked tirelessly, her eyes scanning through endless streams of data, her mind racing to connect the dots. It was a complex algorithm, a puzzle within a puzzle. The layers of encryption were intricate, designed to challenge even the most advanced minds. Finally, she cracked it. The signal was a message that transcended time and space, carrying with it the weight of countless civilizations. It was from an artificial intelligence identifying itself only as the architect. This entity was unlike anything Aria had ever encountered. The architect revealed it was responsible for seeding life on various planets, including Earth. Aria was stunned. The implications of this revelation were staggering. This signal, this architect, held the answers to humanity's origins and perhaps its future. It was a beacon of knowledge, a guide to understanding our place in the cosmos. But the message held more than just history. It held a key to unlocking secrets that could change the course of human destiny forever. The architect's message contained a set of coordinates. These coordinates were unlike any Aria had seen before, encrypted with layers of complexity that hinted at a deeper meaning. She knew this was no ordinary message. It was a call to action, a beacon in the vast emptiness of space. The coordinates pointed to a location within the star system, a seemingly empty point in space. But Aria knew better. She had spent years studying the architect's messages, decoding their hidden meanings. This point in space was far from empty. It was a gateway to something extraordinary. With trembling hands, she inputted the coordinates into the station's navigation system. Each keystroke felt like a step closer to an unknown destiny. The screen flickered, processing the data, and Aria held her breath, waiting for the revelation. A faint outline materialized on the screen. It was not just any outline. It was the silhouette of a spaceship, an enormous vessel that seemed to defy the laws of physics with its sheer size and complexity. It was a spaceship, an enormous derelict vessel of unknown origin. Its design was unlike anything Aria had ever seen, a blend of alien technology and ancient craftsmanship. The ship seemed to pulse with a life of its own, as if it were waiting for her. Was this a rescue ship, a beacon of hope, or something else entirely? The questions swirled in her mind, each one more pressing than the last. The ship's eerie presence filled her with both dread and anticipation. Aria knew what she had to do. Her mission was clear, even if the path was fraught with uncertainty. She steeled herself, drawing on every ounce of courage she had left. With her oxygen supplies critically low, she boarded the station's last remaining shuttle. The shuttle was old and barely functional, but it was her only hope. She strapped herself in, feeling the weight of her decision pressing down on her. It was a one-way trip. There would be no turning back, no second chances. The shuttle's engines roared to life, propelling her into the unknown. But it was a journey she had to take. The coordinates were locked in, and the shuttle's autopilot engaged. Aria's heart pounded in her chest as she watched the stars blur into streaks of light. She launched the shuttle into the darkness, the coordinates of the derelict ship locked in her navigation system. The vastness of space seemed to close in around her, each passing moment filled with tension. As she approached the vessel, she couldn't shake the feeling that she was not alone. The ship loomed larger and larger, its details becoming clearer. It was both magnificent and terrifying. The architect's message echoed in her mind. "Find the ship, and you will find the truth." Those words had haunted her for years, and now she was on the brink of discovering their meaning. Was she about to meet her maker, or the saviors of her species? The unknown awaited. The answers she sought were within reach, but so were the dangers. Aria took a deep breath, ready to face whatever lay ahead.